Good to see everybody. I'm live. I decided to go live today. I haven't gone live in a while on my channels, so I thought it'd be pretty cool to, go live and to see, everybody. Because, it's funny because I used to go live every Friday, and I used to do something called Fiverr Fridays, and that was to put just to talk about Fiverr. I think I did a lot of those episodes. I think I did that for over a year, and that was pretty crazy. So it's kind of one of those things where I do miss it, and I do think that I'm probably going to start doing more lives again, just because it's it's really exciting to hear from everybody and to, see how everybody's doing and so forth. By the way, if you're here, don't be afraid, put into the chat there or respond and say hello and tell me where you're from. Today, we're going to be talking about branding. And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Anthony Pica. I'm a voiceover coach and voice over actor. And I also run and put together VO's Journey Elite Academy. So I really believe now more than ever in running a online brand. And I think that part of that online brand or learning how to do that is understanding the right actions to take and what order to take them to build an online brand to where people recognize you and want to work with you. And again, this is important because what happens in what we do is now more than ever, there's voice actors kind of everywhere, right? And because there's voice actors everywhere, it kind of becomes, it becomes difficult to it becomes difficult to, separate yourself from everybody. And I think that that's, something that can be challenging because our goal is to, really set ourselves apart. Especially when, we're doing, sorry, I put up, we got a chat stream in the, in here, and I put it up here so people could see it. It's funny because I haven't done this in a while, so I realized, oh wait, I can put up the chat stream so that people can actually chat and see and everything. So, but anyways, so what I was saying was, let me move that over some. But anyways, what I was saying is that the branding itself and the fact that there's so many of us, it does pose a challenge. And the challenge it poses is that, again, how do we separate ourselves from everyone else? We are, first off, very unique, all of us, because we have a unique voice. And even with AI, we still are extremely unique. And just think of AI as another competitor. That's really, I think today it's more evident than not that, AI is not going to replace voice actors, right? But it's another competitor, okay? But when it comes to our branding, think of branding as the way to have people recognize who you are and what you do. So if you think logically about that, you have to think, okay, well, if I'm going to, have people recognize me, the first question is, what people or who are these people that I want to recognize me, and what is it that I want them to recognize me for? It really is kind of that's the basis of all of this, right? Is, what do I want people to recognize me for, and who are those people? So if you start your kind of branding conversation with yourself around that, you'll begin to put together this idea of, well, I need to figure out what it actually is, what my niche is. And I do want to point out that a niche isn't so much the style, or isn't so much the category you do. A niche doesn't necessarily mean that you just do radio commercials, right? Or radio tags. It could be. But your niche could be how you do business. It could be, what type of pricing plans you have. It could be your customer service. It could be your revision policy. The point I'm making here is it doesn't have to be so much about one specific category that you do. It can also be about how you run your business. It can also be about the style that you have. You might like to do a variety of things. Like I like to do all sorts of voiceovers, right? But I have a style and I have a specific group of people that like to hire me, right? So I understand what that style is, and that's what you could do. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy, again, doing other things, but, the style that you have can be what you're branding. So the first thing that you have to do, right, is you got to figure out what it is you want people to recognize you for. And the second thing, again, is who are those people then? And I think it's important to know when we're tackling online branding, what is the goal of online branding? Well, I said, right, that it was to get people to recognize you. But to what end? Right? What are we trying to get people to recognize you for? I think the reality is we know that if you want jobs now, if you want to be booked and hired now, the fastest way to do that is to audition. That's the fastest way. I'm not saying it's always the most effective way, but it's the fastest way because we know that right at this moment, those specific people who have posted auditions somewhere are looking for voice actors, right? Or we can also put ourselves up onto platforms that are spending a lot of money to market and send traffic to you or other voice actors on the platform who, and there's clients that are going there are actively looking for voice actors. So we know that there are faster ways to get work. So what is the point then? What is the goal of branding? Well, the interesting thing about branding is that, I love the what was it? It was a saying or something that says you cannot quantify what a brand does. It's near impossible to quantify the reach and the impact that a brand has. But, boy, you can feel it. And, boy, it makes a huge difference. Because branding is trust. But again, to what end does that trust, like who are we trying to get to trust us? And I think this is where so many voice actors make the mistake, is they make the mistake of thinking that branding, putting stuff up on the internet, doing this stuff and getting people to recognize them is all they have to do. It is not all they have to do. If you think of any major brands that you enjoy or right? Think of Nike. I mean, Nike's whole brand, right, is sports, athletes, pushing the boundaries of, the athletic journey. We know that, and if you think about commercials that Nike puts out, they don't really often put out a lot of commercials that are selling Nike equipment. The commercials they put out are about the idea of Nike, the what Nike is about, what they believe. Okay, and that's and because of that, right? Then we know, well, we believe that too. We like what that stands for, so we're gonna go and buy their stuff and wear their logo because that means something. It's interesting in voiceover because we are kind of in a weird place because people don't ever, they won't ever know who we are. They won't ever see our face. They won't know where we came from. They won't know what we do, where we live, what we stand for. Voiceover is very interesting in that way. It's a faceless job. But interestingly enough, the people who hire us, it's not. They want to know what our face is. They want to know what we stand for. And if you think about that, then you think about, well, then what are those people that we want to work with? What are they trying to promote? What are they standing for? What are they looking to have their clients do? What I try to do in my voiceovers is I try to exude trust, right? I try to be myself and be sincere and be strong, but at the same time, be trustworthy. And I'm hired quite a bit by corporate businesses, financial institutions, places who want their clients to trust them, right? That's the brand, the style that I try to put forward. And I honestly, I do that by trying to be sincere and tell the truth, be trustworthy, right? And that's what I get hired for. Okay. What's interesting about your brand and what you do is oftentimes if it is sincere and it comes from your heart, it's not hard for you to do it. But that doesn't mean that, you don't have a variety of different things that you enjoy and you want to brand. But the point I'm trying to make to you is that you want your clients, the people who hire you, you want them to at least, if you're branding, right, have the same vision that you have. Because that's going to then make them feel that you are the right person. Because you have to think in the client's mind, you are the person that is the voice of their brand, of their message. So you have to meet that. So backing or moving forward to the end here of the conversation about branding and online branding. Okay. We talked about the things that you needed to do, right? You need to figure out what your branding or, what do you want people to recognize you for? And then who do you want to recognize you? Okay. So from this, then we look at, my posts and the things I make, they all revolve around reinforcing those 2 points, right? What I want people to recognize me for and who those people are. Those are the posts I make. They do not have to be about me selling something. Okay, that's not what it is. Because we don't so for branding, especially through social media, which online is what we're talking about, unless we're running ads. And even ads, ads are meant to get people to do something, usually not to buy. It's usually just to get more interest because people are just not going to buy something. They don't know you. They don't trust you. You haven't built the brand. And that's the hope. So the whole point to this is that because all of us, most of us, have no brand, we have no recognition, we have no name recognition, people are not just openly willing to purchase from you online without you being attached to something else. That's why so many of us get more work through websites that have branded themselves, that have built a business brand, right? So that people go there and they know that there's specific people, they know there's a service, they know that it's somewhat trustworthy because they've built a brand about it. And we are a part of that. But when we're trying to sell directly to people, we've not built a brand, so there's no trust. So all the fears that come out, that we all have on the internet, come out. So that's part of why we need to build our own brand if we're going to direct market. Does that make sense? Okay. This video is not about the ins and outs of what exactly to post. But the point is, and we get into the weeds of that in other videos. But the point of this video is to understand that online branding, right, is about, again, what do you want people to recognize you for? And who are those people you want to recognize you? Also, don't forget, branding takes a long time. Just like it takes a long time to build a friendship. It takes a long time because people need time to welcome you into their lives, into their consciousness. And a lot of times what we do, and especially from a branding standpoint and a business standpoint, it takes a lot of, we call it touches, right? Or a lot of moments that people get to see you. So that takes time. And that means you have to understand that you're not going to see the benefits of your brand for a while. It takes time. So that's why in the beginning of this video, I said what order to do this in. This is for a voice actor who has been around for a while, who has a steady stream of income, okay, who has worked through the platforms, done auditions. They're ready to take their business to the next level and start to build a brand. If you are just starting out, this is not the right time for you to build a brand because you have nothing to brand yet. You're still trying to find this whole thing out, trying to figure it out. Right now is the time for you to get training, to get with a community, okay, to learn, right, of VO's Journey Elite Academy. But it's time for you to get with the community and learn and to grow and to start to get work, start to audition, get better at your craft, understand what you're good at, right? That's the point of this. So I hope that helps, brings some things to the forefront. I want to, let's see, I've got... I'm trying to, let's see. So again, sorry for the chat. I've got some people who have said some stuff. Let's pull this up. Okay, so let's see. Ken says, "Hey, Andy, been a while, brother." Yes, sir. Patricia, I appreciate your information. Thank you, Patricia. All right, what do you think about a faceless brand? You know, it's interesting because we have Academy Voices Entertainment, which is our YouTube channel, which is attached to a VO's Journey Elite Academy, and that's what we use to promote our voice actors, right? Put up work and hopefully make money for our voice actors down the road. And it is faceless, okay? And I will tell you that in this day and age, it is getting harder to do faceless branding because we are skeptical. Really skeptical now more than ever. And we're not, we're just because AI has hit us really hard, everyone knows about AI. So everyone has their little spidey antennas up and they're expecting to be scammed online. Like that's the expectation. We all are. I mean, I kind of go into every situation expecting to be scammed, and now more than ever too, even videos where I see people, if they don't look real, you know what I mean? Like if it looks too prim and proper, if it looks too fancy, I think it's AI, or I'm not like I don't enjoy, like I don't kind of sign on to it. I want to say now. I'm not talking about TV commercials, that are paid all kind, like Subaru or something, where these really nice commercials. I'm talking about when we're building a brand. Don't forget the brand we're trying to build is for people to trust us. So I would say that Patricia, it is hard to build a faceless brand if you're trying to get people to trust you. Now, if you're trying to get people to trust a business idea that you have, right, then I think you can begin to do that, but it's got to revolve around something. It's got to revolve around an idea. Usually people think, an idea or business, right, it revolves around a person or a person's single mindset. But I'm not saying you can't build a faceless brand, but it's hard. It's really hard these days because we don't trust very much at all, like online especially, which is funny because we spend like most of our time online. So I hope that helps. I would, but here's the thing, and I don't know, if Patricia, this is kind of where you're going for it, is that I know when I started, I had a hobo fort. Filming myself, I was embarrassed. I didn't want to film myself. I didn't think I thought people, if I film myself, they'd think, this guy's ugly. Look at where this guy is. Why would I ever want to listen to him? He's got packing blankets. He's in a hobo fort. He probably stinks as a voice actor anyways. Who'd ever want to, I had bad lighting. Just random stuff, right? It wasn't very, very good. So I thought, I'm not going to film myself. I'm going to start a podcast. So, Patricia, what I would recommend that you do is you can build when it comes to faceless, start a podcast instead of doing something with video. I mean, if that's what you're worried about, start a podcast. I mean, think about it. My podcast, the VO's Journey podcast, was probably one of the best things I did for my business. And I don't mean because it reached so many people, but I mean because also it helped me as a voice actor. It really did. It helped me as a voice actor. Helped me learn how to speak in front of a microphone and not feel so nervous all the time. I was very nervous for a while in front of the microphone. So I recommend doing something like that. You don't have to video you don't have to film yourself these days. Okay, let's see. Shaney says, My socials revolve around health and fitness. I recently made the decision to pursue VO full time. My question is, should I create new accounts for VO or should I keep them and post VO content more? That's a great question. So listen, and I get this question a lot, and there's a lot of people who are in the same boat, right? Like, especially like on LinkedIn, right? Like, I've got my business or my job, or, I'm doing something specific and I want to go to VO. Should I use my same accounts? The reality is that I really would look at starting a new account if you're going to, right? Start new accounts. You can always, if you are making the shift, well, here's my thing. If you plan on making a total shift from what you do now to another account, from you said your socials are around fitness, right? Is that what it was? Health and fitness. If you're planning on keeping health and fitness and doing VO, using the same socials will be confusing. Does that make sense? Unless your voiceovers revolve around health and fitness, and that's what you want to be known for. So going back to, again, what do you want to be known for? If you want to be known as the person, who is the voice of health and fitness, and that's what you do, and you do voiceovers for health and fitness, it could be a great tie-in. And I'm not sure, because I don't know your socials, what exactly you're posting on them, but it could be a great tie-in. So you just have to remember how you use it. But if it's going to be like completely separate, get a new one. But if it's going to tie into health and fitness, could be an interesting thing for you to do. Let's see. Thank you for, Patricia says, thank you for refreshing. Thank you. Very refreshing to listen to your point of view. You're welcome. Thank you. Patricia says, I just feel I'm not the most video-ish person, and I think it would have to also work on learning the video aspect of it all. But yes, podcast it is. Love it. Good deal. Yeah, and I tell you, it took me a long time to figure out all the video stuff. Like, for example, I'm streaming live. So many of these things take you a long time to figure out. Plus, I'm using a Sony a6000 for my camera, which is something I bought a long time ago. But in order to stream with it, which is one of the best streaming cameras out there, you have to have a constant power source, and it's usually run by batteries. So I had to find a constant power source. Then you have to plug it into your computer using what we call a cam link, right, which links up so it allows the camera to stream live and digitally go through to your computer, from a regular camera, the Sony a6000, even from the mount. You have to mount it because it doesn't go on your computer. So, there's so much stuff to learn. I totally agree. And the software and stuff you use. So start with a podcast. It's so simple. We do recordings every day as voice actors. And it's very simple. I use Buzzsprout. You can use Podbean. These are websites that will stream your stuff everywhere. They're very simple to use. And a lot of times you just upload it. There's lots of opportunity there. So check that out. Absolutely. I'd love to. And when you start a podcast, let me know. I'd love to hear it. And maybe you can interview me. Okay. Let's see. Javier says, what's up, Anthony? Well said. Thank you. All right, you guys, listen, thank you so much. And thank you for your questions. And this was an impromptu video. So, if you like the live and everything, let me know, because I think I enjoy going live and I enjoy answering questions, and it's so nice to do that. Let's see. Shani says, I appreciate the feedback. I want to get into animation and video games, so new socials it is. Well, there you go. Absolutely. It's such a great time. It's something that we're doing at A VO's Journey Elite Academy, is our group. We're doing more fan dubs, more CGI products, more video game type animations and trailers and all types of things that we create, and we put up on our YouTube channel and everything. So it's very exciting, but I love it, Shani. Keep me posted. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching again. Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell notification, especially as we go live. And I know people are watching on LinkedIn and other places as well, Facebook, because a lot of people are messaging here on Facebook and so forth. So thank you guys again for watching. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I'll see you guys